How you doing, guys? This is Richie. Today we pulled out a book called The Classic Era of American Comics by Nicky Wright. This is all old school stuff here. This is Golden Age, which I seem to be obsessing over nowadays. I guess Joe Kubert helped him. What year is this from? This is from 2008. Kubert might have been involved with this. There it is, Hawkman. This is original drawing from 1958, 59. Now, for those who do collect Golden Age, you know how expensive it gets. But I don't know, there's just something about it, man. Maybe it's the rarity of it. They're tough to find. They're tough to find at a decent price. Action 56. What a great cover. What a great cover. Wow. Number 5, Batman. Amazing Mystery Funnies. Early Batman. The Marvel Mystery Comics covers, man, they're just great looking. Those deep reds with that heading there. Even when they're in low grade, they still just look, the colors just pop. I'm starting to like these books, the old Jungle books. I'd like to pick up some of them. The early Whiz comics. Wow, 1940, Whiz 4. This has got a lot of prose in it, so if you're into reading about the history, this is a great book for you. And I picked this up on eBay a while ago. It was cheap. Just gives you a good idea of what came before. Was that Namarita? The old Submariner books. Hangman, these are expensive in higher grade. And man, if you can even find it in higher grade. You see these on eBay for in like 2.5, 3.0, and they're like over $1,000. Is that Macra Boy there? For Captain Marvel Jr. I enjoyed it. I have a nice Captain Midnight. I actually have a Promise Collection Captain Midnight book that I really like. Just beautiful copy. The pedigrees tend to be a little more expensive. These jumbo comics. These guys are great, man. Great artists back in the day. And they had to move. They had timelines. You couldn't take 2 weeks to do a page or 2 months to do a page. You had to move or you were going to starve. There's one of these online now for like 20-something hundred. I think it's 6.5. Slave Girl. Archie books, Bugs Bunny, Scrooge. See, I like this is nice matte paper. I like when books are like this, especially the art books. You know, that detail the history of the artist or the comic book history. Here's one that I could just never get into, Archie. Just not my thing. I know some of them are highly collectible, but I just can't get into it. I've never seen this cover. Geronimo. Here comes my favorite, the horror and the crime. Down with Crime. Lev Gleason's crime books. These are very popular back in the day. I guess after World War II, superheroes kind of got stale, so it turned into horror and crime. Teenage Dope Slaves. It's got a syringe on the cover. That's an expensive book. I've never seen this cover out there. I have a couple Blue Beetle Golden Age books. Headline Comics. Murder Incorporated. Out of romance. Another genre I can't really get into is the romance books. But I like the good girl art. And I like the war. I don't think I have anything in my collection for the war. Battle, action, battle. There's some really cool flamethrower covers out there. And Matt Baker did a bunch of books, bunch of crime books. He's the hot artist that 20, 30 years ago, nobody was really even talking about. At least I didn't realize it. But back in the day, in the 80s and the 90s, I didn't collect Golden Age. I really didn't care much for it at all. Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror. Here's all the EC books. That's a great cover. Great panel. Just very, and this is what brought about the Comics Code here. Great Jack Davis cover. Here's probably the book that more than any brought about the Comics Code Authority in the hearings. The Senate hearings where, what's his name? I think they said he was like high on meth or something when he was testifying before the Senate hearings. That's a great page right there. Look at that. Imagine 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds buying this stuff off the racks. And then they had to turn into Mad Magazine, so he still made a fortune either way. Here's some of my favorites. I love the Harvey books. The Harvey horror books, Chamber of Chills, Tomb of Terror. I have a few of them. High grade too, I got. Marvel Tales. This is a very expensive book, this Mystic. This is actually an expensive book too. That's a cover. I forget for which one. It's all over now. Seduction of the Innocent. Good old Frederick Wortham. Wormy little bastard. Look at that panel. Make Way for Murder. Look at that ghoul. That's great. I wonder who drew this. Make Way for Murder. Doesn't say. Huh. I see this up for sale. Mid-grade copies. These are more affordable. Great cover. Doesn't say who did this one either. Might be Bill Everett. EC put out some piracy books. Who the hell was going to read that? I enjoy the old Captain Marvels. Captain Marvel swats the Japs. You know, World War II propaganda covers. Can you blame them? Bibliography, and I think we're right about there. Comic Book Marketplace. Remember that magazine? Jeez. Now you're going back. 96. Wow. Wow. Don Winslow, Captain Marvel Jr. That's a great Superman cover, number 11. And that's all she wrote. Strange Worlds, National Comics, Journey into Mystery. Police Action. All right. Well, thanks for watching, guys. You get this one cheap on eBay. Nice hardcover if you're interested. Probably. I don't think they really sell that much. They're always up for cheap. So, appreciate you guys watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.